Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I'm continuing my playthrough of Normandy 44. We are up to turn 17, June 22nd. Let's see what happened on this date historically. 2nd TAF, and 9th AF strike Cherbourg. Operation Bagration starts on the East Front. And this is a game note here. We're now allowed to use 2 air units per combat or strafing. I haven't really used that strafing at all. Seems like it's not a very good use of the air, in my opinion. You only can do something on a 6. Don't remember if there's any modifiers for it, but it seems like a pretty low odds of success. I think I'd rather get my shift from the air units. Alright, so we're through the storms. So now we got to see what the weather for this turn is going to be. Allies are hoping for some fair weather. 2. Well, at least it's not a storm. That's the worst it could be otherwise. So overcast 2. The Germans are going to be able to build 2 improved positions. Get those markers out as a reminder. Only 2, not 3. All right. What else? They get 2 supply points. Guess we'll just give 1 to each. Although they're starting to get almost to the point where headquarters on this side of the board are not going to be able to draw from Fortress Cherbourg. If we manage to cut this off here. So that's the supply points. They get 1 armor replacement. Cannot be used on a Panther or Tiger this time, though. Americans get 1 infantry replacement again. Don't believe they have any that can take him, though. And then the British get 1 infantry replacement as well. They definitely have some units that can take that. In fact, I think we've got some cadres. We'll probably uncadre here with that. Let's see what else. No air units. That's a big bummer there. We do get our naval units, but I don't think that's really going to matter since everything is past the naval bombardment zone at this point in the game. We do get our supply points, which is going to be a big help. So that's 2 for each, since they have their mulberry, and we can purchase additionals, which without air we may consider doing that this turn with our reinforcement points. Alrighty, that's pretty much everything, I think, for the initial phase. Ready all in supply headquarters and Werfer brigades. I don't think there were any that got flipped over last turn. Not that I see. Alright, so German player turn. Starting with the replacement phase. They got that 1 armor replacement. Where can they best use that? What we've got over here. Right, we moved that additional Werfer brigade that we got last turn up over there. full strength. These are full strength. Let's see. We got some in the. We got a unit here in con that could take it. We really need down in here though. This guy's disrupted, so he couldn't take it. He's just a one-step unit anyway. That's infantry. Well, there's one. What are we gonna do about this down here? That's gonna be tough. Well, there's a cadre that could be boosted up. Let's say one of those SS units, I'm not sure which. There's also a cadre somewhere of one of Panzer Lehr's units. That's an infantry. These haven't been hit at all. Those are all infantry there. That's an infantry. These are all still full strength, I think. So that's only one step, I believe. Except maybe this guy. Nope, he is too. Okay, well, the other option is we could bring something back. Which we have this unit that's going to be coming in this turn, which could definitely help plug things up down here. So I wonder between that and maybe if we could bring in a unit that's been eliminated. Let's see what we have. We do have this guy, but that I believe is a Panther unit. So we can't spend it on that. I think all the ones with the 4 armor rating are Panthers. We do have this unit that we could bring back. Can't use it on flak. There's this one as well. It would only come back on this side though. Here's one. Again, only 1 strength, so probably not a good choice. Got this one. Guess you can barely see these. What else we got in here? Panzer Lehr. That's an anti-tank, so that wouldn't be considered a Panther. Even though it's got a 4. And we'll get this airborne armored unit. Ooh, forgot about this. They have a headquarters that got eliminated at some point. Not sure what you spend to bring those back. Headquarters, replacement type is infantry. So that's not an option for now. this? Motorized airborne. It doesn't distinguish. Looks like all the airborne are considered infantry replacements. So. Yeah, so I think that's basically our choices there. Oh, here's one more. If we wanted to get a new unit back to help stuff. Let's see where we could actually bring them in. Replacements. Here we go, page 5. Returning unit to play. On the In Britain card, obviously that's for the allied player only, or a friendly controlled city hex, town hex, or with a friendly HQ of the same nationality. And it has to be in supply, may not be in an EZOC, even if a friendly unit occupies that hex. Must be within 5 hexes of another unit from its division that was on the map at the start of the phase. Does not apply to non-divisional units, which these 3 are all non-divisional. They have no divisional designation there. Same with this. So, looks like these 2 are probably the best choices just because they have the higher armor rating. So a friendly town or city. There's a town here. There's a town here. So I'm thinking we're going to have to pull these guys back because they're about to get surrounded here. So if we pull them back, actually we could pull them back. They have enough. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they could. No, they have to disengage. Shoot. I don't have enough to make it there because I was thinking if we could get them here, then these guys and whoever we put here could potentially link up like here, and that would reestablish our line. Although this one's pretty weak. Well, they do have 5 movement points, so they could actually get over to here. And this one obviously could. Or would we be better off? This guy can kind of hold his own, I think. So maybe he could plug in here. This guy falls back to there. And then we could have our reinforcement come in here. And he could make it 1. Actually, I think that's only 2/3. Because I think, don't they get 3 movement points on overcast turns as well? Or 3 hexes per movement, I mean. Primary roads, footnote B. No, it's only in storm that they get the 3. So they won't be seeing that anymore. Yeah, so this would be 1, 2, 3. So they could certainly get into here to help reinforce that hex. So yeah, I think we do that. Let's bring in this guy here. Oh, but shoot. If he comes in, he's going to get a replacement marker, right? Which means he can only move 1 hex. Is that true for bringing in new units too? They get a replacement marker. Yep, including those that come out of the eliminated pile. So much for that plan. We could bring him in on. We could have brought him in on the headquarters if the headquarters wasn't in an EZOC. If we had pulled them back further last turn or something. Hindsight's 20/20, right? So yeah, if we stick him there, the best he's going to be able to do is go there. I guess we could have these guys then fall back onto that location. But then we've got somewhat of a gap. Well, I think we're going to do that. We'll spend the armor replacement to bring this guy in here. Now let's figure out movement. That's the next step. All right, so we got this reinforcement coming in. So, as we said, we're going to have them move to there. We'll have these guys fall back on that position. Man, I'm almost wondering if we just reform our line here, just give this up in the middle here, but then what's this guy going to do? I guess fall back to here. I just don't know. I feel like if we stick this guy out here, he's just going to get pounded. Then have to fall back anyway. At least back here, he's on the other side of a river. Yeah. I hate to give up another town there, though. I guess we wouldn't be yet. If we just move these guys to here. That come in here. And come in here and then move to here. He's on a hill there too, that's nice. Yeah, I think unfortunately we got to do that. Try to hold them off from getting around behind Khan here for as long as possible. 6 turns, hopefully. How about up here? I think we were talking about this guy's not going to strap move, so that can come off. Having these units fall back to here. We can establish that line across there. Relying on the flooded terrain there to kind of help our defense a little bit. And we brought this guy around to try to help out, but I'm not sure how much help he's really going to be, unfortunately. Have any infantry here? Yes, so these guys can try to dig in. I think these guys are considered infantry for that purpose too, the Panzer Grenadiers. Yeah, it's still considered an infantry type unit. Just a mechanized infantry. So these guys could dig in as well. We know they won't be getting attacked. Well, probably not, because these guys are disrupted. I'm assuming they're probably going to move to there. These guys are going to loop up around, take that town, and then come down into this town probably. I don't know how far they can get, I guess. Well, the infantry could move straight to here. And then the armor could go around the horn to get there. That's probably what they're going to do, I'm guessing. Guessing what I'm going to do later. Let's see if we need to do any other shifting or repositioning along the line here. I think we're about as good as we can get up here. Just have to hope this river is enough to deter some attacks there for now. This guy might be getting smacked. And probably going to try to do something up here. Let's see. What the other thing is, do we want to try to dig in? These guys are already in a city hex, right? This is considered a city hex here. Yeah, I think all three of these are. Plus they're in a strong point. So they don't need to dig in. These guys are okay behind this river, I think. Same here. There's another one of them cadres there. These guys moved, so they can't, but they're behind the river now, so these guys moved. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe these two spots. Just try to keep them at bay over in this area. Don't really see any other movement. This is probably the most likely spot for the Allies to attack over here now. I'm thinking maybe we might want to get these guys close enough to support that. They have to be within 3 hexes. I'm thinking we send them down like this. actually. They're in range of all three of these spots now. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that's about it then for the German movement. In terms of combat, I don't really, we can get the double shift now if we use headquarters and a Werfer brigade. Where would we even want to try that? And here we're coming across a river, so we don't want to do that. Guess we need to check our headquarters situation up here. Where's our, Cotentin's there. They can reach all of this and down to here. We got SS headquarters covering this area. You can't quite reach that one, but this one can. I don't think we need to adjust any of our headquarters at this point. Although, well, I guess this one we were trying to get closer up around here, right? Guess we might as well move them one space. Yeah, I don't really see any good spots to attack. This did kind of get weakened up a little here. Got 8, 9, 10. We'd only be attacking with 7. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be very little in the way of German attacks for the rest of the game. So they can't really afford to. Just need to try to slow them down as much as possible to keep them from reaching their victory condition. All right, we'll go with that then for the German turn. That just leaves recovery. So these disrupted units and the one that took a replacement, we can take those markers off. Were there any others? Don't think so. I don't think anyone up here got disrupted last turn. None of these did. Nope. All right. And then for supply, just need to double check. We're starting to get kind of a split here. There are going to be some, like I said, I don't think, actually it may have been this way even previously, because there's no, without coming up through this town, there's no way to get road supply over, we can't trace supply back to Cherbourg from this side of the board anymore. So they're going to be completely reliant on 7th Army Supply now for their supply points. And just to confirm the German supply sources, I'm pretty sure it's the map edges. Page 20. Any map edge entry hex or any friendly controlled Cherbourg city hex. Yeah, so all of these are supply sources all the way around the map. So there's no issue with supply currently for the Germans, other than, of course, as usual, that one strong point up there. No German IPs alone in a hex, so that'll take us to the Allied player turn, starting with their replacement phase. All right, so for the British, they've got, you know what, I think we forgot to, this should have come off during the recovery phase last turn. Right? Yeah, because the Germans went first, attacked them, they got disrupted. Then during the Allied turn, this should have come off. Because they can now take these Canadian replacements. I think we'll do that. Let's get these guys out of the cadre box. And let's boost these guys back up to full strength. Both taking replacements. Yeah, so that's our 2 Commonwealth infantry replacements. And we've got 1 British only. I think we need to get one of these cadres out of here. So we got 2 from the 50th, so we probably want to get one of them. Yeah, this is an airborne, so they can't come back. So it's just these 2 that we're concerned about. One of them is here. I think the other is underneath one of these stacks. I think it was here, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's do this one. That's marker D. Which is the 151st Brigade of the 50th Infantry Division. Okay, that's that spent. And then for the US, they didn't take any hits last turn, and when we checked last turn, there weren't any units that could take it, so they will just continue to bank them until they need them. All right. So movement phase. This is when we get our reinforcements. Tempted to just spend all 6 for both sides on additional supply points. Although we could really use some more British units over here to try to. But again, do we want to do that, or do we just want to hold the line there and then keep forcing the issue around here? The other thing to consider, we mentioned this last turn, is when we do start withdrawing these airborne divisions, that's going to leave a lot of hexes over here that the airborne cadres have been holding empty or nearly empty. We're going to need some fresh units to fill those in as well. Just hate having another turn where we're not really able to do much offensively. See, next turn, they're still only getting one unit in. But then starting turn 19, they start getting quite a bit more. And then by turn 22, which hopefully will be too little too late. The Allies are hoping for that anyway. That'll be too little too late. Yeah, let's just go ahead and focus on attacking with what we have. So we're just going to give each side 2 more supply points. Those cost 3 each, I believe. If I remember correctly. Let's see, 3 for a supply point. Yep. So yep, we're just going to spend all 6 for both the Americans and the British on supply points. All right, let's see what we can, kind of havoc we can cause now. Let's do that. These guys are going to go half, 1.5, 2.5. And he's going to zip up through there to take control of Trouville-sur-Mer. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We would have 9, 12. No troop quality shift. No armor shift. Actually, no artillery shift. We got to get a headquarters over there to help these guys out. Just realized that. Really need to get these guys off of this position. 13. Or I think we were talking about maybe sending these guys up around to help out over here. We definitely need to get this core moving over this way. Right now, the only spot we can reach is this one. It's 10. Ooh, they're in a town too. 14, 15. They won't be attacking this turn. Fortunately, these guys are from different divisions. Yeah, this effort over here may have stalled for the time being. All right, how about what are we gonna do in this opening that we got down here now? Need to get these guys there. Again, no. Now, I wonder, since the headquarters is with them now, does that allow them to get the benefit of the DCB? Yeah, so they would be able to get one DCB because the headquarters is there, because you can't get more than the printed strength of the units there, and these don't count toward that because they're silhouetted. So this is going to be 6. We're going to be halved and left shifted if we attack across that. One, two, three, 4. They are within range of our headquarters. I think we need to scooch them up. What all can we get there? So these guys are 9, 10, 11, 12. Knock them down to 6. That'll be 1 to 1, but then shifted left 2 to 1, or 1 to 2. We could get 2 shifts from the headquarters. The good thing is the unit composition won't matter then, because everybody's going to be halved anyway. So we'd have, actually it'd be more than that then, right? Because each of these will be halved. So you don't total it and then have it. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we could get it up to 12. After the halving, we'd be at 1 to 1 initially. Let's see. This would be another. It'd be No, not quite. 3, 4, 5, 6. That'd still be enough. So yeah, I think maybe we move these guys to here. These guys, can they make it? Yeah, they got 4 movement. Okay, good. Well, they got a road there, so it's only 1 into the woods. 2, 3. And I think these guys we bring. That's 1, 2. I can move 6. I can truck it. 1, 2, 3, 4. They could get to there, or even here or here. But do we want them out that far? This guy might need to keep this guy in check a little bit. Maybe we just put him there. All right, what else? So we're set up for an attack here. With initial odds of 1 to 1. Be able to boost that to 3 to 1. Still going to leave us with 2 supply points. Under, we could hit this. That's 7 plus 5 for the city. It's 12. So if we just get at least 12 in there. What do we got here? We got 14 right here. That's all we'd need. We could even potentially, move these guys to here, and then give them a reserve marker, and maybe they can exploit that a little bit. They won't be able to, unfortunately, because assuming we push them back, they'll just fall back to here. They can stop in the city. We still wouldn't be able to move into that hex. Would give us one of the con hexes, though. Maybe we leave them here for now. Thinking maybe as a follow-up to that next turn. So when we do kick them back, we could move down to here, have these guys gang up here. Try to get across. See what would be a better spot. That's 4 and 4 for 8. Ooh, they're in the clear too. So yeah, that's going to be the best spot. Maybe we should just do that. They wouldn't, if they had to go back, they would have to retreat 2 hexes. Wonder if we could get enough enough against these guys now to do that. It's the same situation as down there. Everything's going to be halved anyway, so we can just throw whatever we want to at it. So that'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These guys would be bringing the same. So it'd be 14 on 8. Not quite 2 to 1. It'd be 1 to 1. Knocked back to 2 to 1, or 1 to 2 because of the river. Yeah, we have to get, we really need both of these to have 2 full strength brigades. I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess. We'd be able to get it up to 2 to 1 with 2 shifts. No troop quality, no armor. Yeah. Let's try it. I'm second guessing myself. 7, 12. Only be a 1 to 1. We could get it up to a 3 to 1. But if this works, it gets us across the river. Yeah, let's try it. So put it on the 1 here, although it's not really initially 1 to 1. But I don't have a die with a 1/2 face, so. All right, so those will be our 2 British attacks. I don't think there's any other juggling we want to do. We kind of need to leave these guys here to protect this core. Next turn we can get them moved around farther if we want to. All right, so that's that on the American side of things. I want to try to hit these guys. They got 4, 6, 10, plus 3 is 13. We have well over that. It'll be 1 to 1, no tank shift, no troop quality shift. Could boost it to 3 to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. That's a possibility. Let's see. We were trying to get some of this airborne into the action up here to get their troop quality shift. Let's see if we can finish doing some of that. I think we were sending this cadre back down here to fill in. Can he make it now? 1, 2, 2, 3, not quite. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So the best we can do is get them to here. This. We can get into this hex. Is that where we want them, or do we want them up here? What's this guy got here? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd be halved, but no left shift across this river. So we could. He would be 4, 5, 6. Bring this guy down to make it 7. That would put it at 1 to 1. And let's do that. So this guy's going to go 1, 2 into there. He'll slide down to here to help them out. These guys just maintain for the time being. So that'll be an attack here. With 2 shifts. We still got this one too. We could use a strat move on him to get him up closer. Without strategic movement, he could get to there. Guess that's good enough for now. He wouldn't be able to move him adjacent to an enemy with strat move anyway, so. He's fine there. The only potential issue is they could move into here and attack him if they wanted to expose themselves like that. But then we could clamp down on them here. They wouldn't be able to retreat back. So it would probably be foolish on their part, but maybe we just, you know what, let's go ahead and just use strategic movement. We'll get them up to here. All right, then. Yeah, so the question is, where do we want to use our second attack? I guess this is another possibility here. 4, 8 plus 3 is 11. We have 10. Just short. Just 3 cadres holding that position. Yeah, it's probably not that. Although this guy could swing down to help, I guess. Whoops. Actually, that would give us an... Oh, we do have an armor shift anyway, because of this guy. And a troop quality shift. Yeah, that's really tempting there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. but behind the river. Yeah, I think we'll wait until we can get on the other side up there to go after those guys. Yeah, this one I'm liking. Let's do, you can easily make it around like that. Back to here. That'll give us what we need for, these guys are both second, right? And he'll be attached. So everyone's full strength, 10, 11, 12 to their 11 with tank shift and troop quality. So that's a 3-to-1 attack before shifts. So we could maybe just spend only one shift there, or even none, if we did want to do another attack down here. What's the better? They're in woods, so we wouldn't get a tank shift against them. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1-to-1 at best. Same here. 10, 13. So we could potentially do 3 attacks at 3-to-1. Pretty good chance of, every result except one causes a retreat that they would have to try to stop. Yep, you know what, let's do it. We got replacements to burn, so why not, right? Okay. I think that's going to do it for movement then. I think our headquarters are in decent positions. Let's get everybody straightened back up. We'll do these attacks. And that'll be the end of another turn. 2 in the same week. I'm on a roll here. Okay, these guys. All right, so let's start on the British side of things, I guess. Let's try this one up here. So it's 1-to-1. We're going to spend 2 supply points for 2 artillery shifts from 30 core to make that 3-to-1. Let's see what we roll. Only a 2. Oh, and that's the one result that they don't get pushed back. Exchange. Well, the opponent gets to choose the loss. Knock this guy down to cadre. Yeah, I think we do that. Take ours on this unit. Knock him down to cadre. drat. All right, down here, again, spending our last 2 supply points to bump this to a 3-to-1. See if we can roll better than a 2. Nope. Wow. We could knock out their headquarters. I think we're better off knocking one of these guys out. Let's take out this unit here. And they will pick one of these to knock them down to cadre, which puts us at 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 4 units at cadre level. It's getting dangerously close to an auto lose, I think. Is it 5? Let's see. Yep. 5 Commonwealth 3-step units eliminated or reduced to cadre level. Not counting Canadians, though. Yikes. I think they will take it on this one. Okay then. German defense is holding strong along the, not sure what river that is, but along that river. Whatever river flows through Caen. Okay, over here, we're going to spend 2 on this one. I'm okay with exchanges for the Americans, I think. Although, I prefer not to. Have to lose a step. All right, another 3-to-1 roll here. Come on. Oh, I saw 1 for a second there. I was like, oh no. So that's just a DR. So they're going to have to retreat or attempt to determine defense. I think they're happy with just retreating into this town. And then we can advance. I think we go. Do that. Allows them to get around there, but would they try that? Guess knowing these in hindsight, knowing these guys were attacking and potentially advancing, I probably should have moved these guys back to here. Oh well. And these guys could theoretically go like here or here. You know what? Maybe it's better to leave these guys back here. Just have this unit advance to this hex. Doesn't have to be the defender's hex. That reestablishes our Zoc bonds through here, and maybe got 8 there. Probably safe leaving a 7 by himself. I think we definitely do at least that. Maybe even one of these. And they're allowed to do that since they advanced into the defender's vacated hex. They can move. Their second move can be Zoc to Zoc. Okay, a little bit better result there. All right, how about this 3-to-1? Or do we want to boost it some? Now let's just stick with our original plan. So we won't spend any shifts on that one. It's just going to be a 3-to-1 attack. Oh, another exchange. Come on. Yowza. Well, we will. Oops. I think we just eliminate this guy. Give him less counters. Fewer counters. And they're going to I think they take it on the airborne since it can't be replaced. And that is the last of the 101st. So much for that +1 helping out. All right, final attack. We spend our last 2 to make this a 3-to-1. Come on, let's get a 6 here. Wow. That's an A1 DR. At least it forces a retreat or a determined defense. We were getting a shift, weren't we, from, did I factor that in? I don't know that I did now that I think about it. Maybe it's a 4-to-1. Let me double check this. So they're at 4, 5, 6, 7. We're halved, so we're at 4, 5, 6, 7. But then we had the troop quality shift. So it was actually 2-to-1 initial odds. No armor shifts because they've got a 3, we've got 3s. So that was a 4-to-1 attack. So 4-to-1. I don't think I got it on camera. What do you know? Another exchange. Oh boy. Well, actually, if we take that away, then that unit. Here's the thing, if we take that away, then this unit by itself can't get terrain benefits, but he can always like restack with somebody to get it back. Whereas if we take this away, now we're getting armor bonuses. Yeah, let's do that. And then they're again going to cadre our airborne unit, which again didn't, I mean, it did give us the boost, but our poor rolling didn't allow us to capitalize on it. Actually, where are we at? Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did we just lose? Use it for the US. Yep. Wow, I should have been paying more attention to that. The Germans just won an auto victory. I guess I should have withdrawn one of those airborne divisions sooner. Have at least 7 U.S. 3-step units currently eliminated or reduced to cadre level. And that's what they got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was definitely a misplay there. I guess in hindsight, probably shouldn't have done that final attack, knowing that we were at risk. Yeah, because that. Yeah, I think I got to roll that back. Because even if it hadn't been an exchange, we got the troop quality shift from the airborne unit, so they would have had to have taken the loss if there was a loss. So I don't think I would have risked that if I'd have been paying attention to how close we were to losing that. So hopefully y'all don't mind me rewinding that so that we can continue playing. Or I could say, you know, I wanted to wrap this game up anyway. This lets me do it early. I'd rather not have it go down like that. That was just a dumb oversight on my part, not paying close enough attention to how close we were to the German auto victory. So I'm just going to say that we did not prosecute that final attack up here. We're still kind of in a pickle because now, especially because we didn't bring any new units on, if we pull out the 101st, for example, that's B, C, D, and F. B, C, D, and F. So that's 2 of the units from this hex. That's C and D, so where's B and F? One of them was right up here. Yep, there's F, they'll be fine. But then where's, what was the other one? So C and D, where's B at? Cadre Padre B, where are you hiding? There you are. Yeah, and that's going to leave him by himself. No DCB. Prone to counterattack across the river. I mean, they would be halved, so they're 4. 4 on 3, 1-1, left shifted. We probably wouldn't try that, but we're going to have to do that. Unfortunately, it's going to leave these guys with just 2, plus they at least do have the terrain benefit. So again, by the time these guys are halved and left shifted, I don't think they're going to pull a stunt like that either. So, yeah. So a little bit of a retcon there, just to keep the game from ending at this point. Obviously, if I was actually playing another person, I would leave that up to them if they wanted to allow me to back that out after being stupid. But I will allow myself to do that because I'd like to play this out through to the final turn, if at all possible. So that's going to wrap up the combat phase, recovery phase. We've got some replacement markers that we can pull off. Oops. Couple of them here. And oh, that reminds me too, these guys should have gotten a disrupted marker. Oops. Fat fingers knocking over stacks. Use the tweezers, that's what they're for. I think that's it for that. Supply phase. Everyone's fine for supply. Let's double check down here. This could get a little tricky here, but they're able to get, yeah, back out through here, no problem, up to a road. So, yep, we're good. Everywhere else, didn't really change, unfortunately, for the Allies. No isolation attrition, no IPs learning a hex. So now, conduct any desired airborne withdrawals. Yes, please. You can put it off no longer. 22.2. So if all on-map units are currently in supply and not adjacent to an enemy unit, Ruh-roh. I guess I should have read up on this. All surviving units of that division must be withdrawn together. None may be left behind. Once withdrawn, may never return to play. If an airborne unit is at cadre level, to return to the cadre display. Withdrawn cadres do not count against the number of cadres for automatic victory. Eliminated airborne units are not withdrawn and therefore count for automatic victory. We didn't have any that were eliminated. Okay, well, I guess knowing that, I mean, we still won't be able to do it this turn, unfortunately. Because we had the one that participated in the combat up here. Or was it this guy? But the others, we may have considered pulling them back in preparation for withdrawal, but I guess we'll just have to do that next turn. guess that'll give us some time to shuffle some things around here a little bit, maybe to cover that. All right, good to know. So, we will not be withdrawing, as we thought we would. No automatic victory, almost was. We're in danger of that happening if the Germans manage to pull off some kind of attack next round and can I don't think, is that an immediate, or I think you wait and check for it at the end of the turn, so I guess I could theoretically still pull them out before that would actually trigger. Let's see. Yeah, it's only checked during the end phase, so it's not an immediate automatic victory. So if at the end of the turn there's 7 3-step units eliminated or reduced to cavalry level, then we would lose. So the Allies would lose. So that's going to wrap things up for this episode. Sorry for the little goof up there. But I hope you don't mind that we're going to keep on trucking with this and not allow it to end with a German automatic victory there. I just noticed we never did decide what to do with this guy. Guess we'll have to figure that out next turn. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this episode then. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. And otherwise, I will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.